Hello, my name is Dora from Grade Certified Accountants based here in Hemel Hempstead. So in this video, I'm going to share a couple of questions that I've received and I'm going to share my answers to those questions. So without any further ado, let's crack on. So the first question is, what do I need to do if I want to change my accountant? That's a very good question. Okay, so you're thinking of changing your accountant, and what I would ask you is, what are the reasons you'd like or you're thinking of changing your accountant? Could it be you're not receiving value for money? Or have you had problems with HMRC? Possibly you've paid fines and penalties, maybe because your tax returns were filed late. Or could it be communication? Your accountant is not available, or they're not available when you need them or when you need advice. So just, those are some of the things that I would actually ask you as to the reasons why you'd like to change accountants. And it's also important to know, because then those are the same things that you're going to look out for in your new accountant. So you don't want the same mistakes or the same problems, in the new accountant as well. The other things I'll strongly advise to think about when you're looking for a new accountant is look at industry experience. So when you want an accountant, you want an accountant that has got experience in your specific industry. Because, for example, an accountant working in, say, hospitality won't have the same knowledge as an accountant working in, say, manufacturing. So whatever your business is, whatever industry your business is, look for an accountant that specializes or that works or has knowledge in your industry, in the industry for your business, and that way they will be able to give you the right advice and they will be able to support you properly, because they have the knowledge and the right experience. And the other thing to think about is personalized service. You see, there are so many cheap accountants out there, and they have like thousands upon thousands of clients, and because they have that many clients, they are not able to give the personalized service. So your business to such accountants is just a number, you see, and when you need them, they're not available because they're so busy. You're looking, maybe you need advice because some urgent issue has come up, they're not available to speak to you. You need support, again, they're not available. Even maybe when you do manage to get in hold of them, they might not even know your business very well. Why? Because then they start asking you, oh, what's your name? What's your business? Or can you tell me a bit more? Which is a bit frustrating. So again, just don't look at price when you're looking for an accountant. Look for quality, look for personalized experience, an accountant that will communicate with you, that will be there for you, an accountant that will know your business in and out and know you as well as an individual, because then that way they can help you move your business forward. They can help you achieve your goals because they know you and they know your business. So, okay, now I've just shared what you need to look out for when you're looking for a new accountant. Let's get into the how. What happens? You've now found your new accountant or your ideal accountant, and you want to now start working with them. So what is going to happen is that the incoming accountant will need to contact the outgoing accountant. This is called requesting for professional clearance. So they will write to the outgoing accountant saying, hey, look, your client XYZ business have approached us to become their accountant. Is there any legal professional reason that we should not act on their behalf, or we should not act for them? And the outgoing accountant will have to request for your permission to release information about your business to the incoming accountant. And when that is done, you're happy with everything, then the two accountants will start communicating and they'll start sharing information. So that's where the handover now starts. And also the onboarding with the new accountant and your business will also start. When all this is done properly, everything is just nice and smooth. It runs properly. And yeah, this is broadly what you need to think about if you are thinking of changing accountants. Right, on to the next question. So the second question is it important to have a business account, or should I keep everything in my personal account? That's another great question. My advice is it's very, very important to keep your business transactions and your personal transactions separate from the get-go. Especially if you're running a limited company or even a self-employed individual, it's always important to keep the two separate. Why? Because the benefit to keeping your business transactions separate to your personal is you have everything in the same place. So you have all your expenses, all your income on the business account, which is very good because when come time to do your accounts or tax returns, you don't have to go all over the place to look for information. Everything is in one place. And the second benefit to having a business account is that it gives your business credibility. So, you know, when you are wanting maybe finance in the future or anything, already that's one step closer to getting that finance because you have a business account. And the other most important thing to think about or to do when you've got a business account is that you need to keep or open the business account in the business name, especially if you're running a limited company. So if you have XY Limited, the business account should be in the name of XY Limited and not in your name. So if you have a spare account sitting around somewhere, don't be tempted to use that. Use a business account which is in the business name for all your business transactions, and always use the business card for all the transactions, expenses, whatever purchases you're making for the business. Always use the card. Why? Because you can always go back on the bank statement to check the transactions. Avoid at all costs using cash, because when you withdraw the cash, it doesn't say what it was for, and then you forget, and then you miss out, because the more the expenses, the less the tax. The less the expenses, the more the tax, or the higher the tax. Now let's go into our third question. So the third question is, what advice would you advise to get a business credit card for my startup business? Again, that is another great question. So somebody's asking whether they should get a credit card for their startup business. You see, a credit card is borrowed money at the end of the day, but if you're very good at managing, at working out, at paying your credit card, it can be very, very beneficial. With a credit card, you see, you don't have to pay it there and then, as compared to having to withdraw money or pay directly from a business bank account. So when you have a credit card, you have at least 30 days before you need to pay the credit card balance. That is already a plus, because that 30 days can give you breathing space and time to actually maybe source more money or do more activities in your business, and then by the time the credit card is due, you've got extra money to pay. And then the second benefit of having a credit card, when you use it wisely, is that some credit cards, they offer rewards, so you can get like 5% of this or 5% or whatever, but they do offer rewards. So look for a credit card day that A, you can manage, you can manage with your finances, and B, they offer rewards, so if they have maybe some special promotions or something, then you can do that. And the most important is that a credit card can help with cash flow. So what does that mean? If you have money in the bank, it's better to keep that money in the bank, because as they always say, cash is king. So it's better to have money sitting in the bank. If you can avoid using that, use the credit card, because the credit card will give you don't have to pay there and then, to pay it back there and then, and also you have money for any emergencies in the business bank account. So it will help with the cash flow, and it will help keep your business going. It will give your business more chance of survival, because you have the cash in the bank and you're using a credit card. But one most important thing to remember is that a credit card at the end of the day is debt. So you don't want to use it recklessly, because you don't want to mount interest, you don't want charges, and because this is what now ends up spiraling out of control, and then you end up into some debt that you didn't want, and then your business will go under because of those crippling debt. So think about it, use it wisely. It can be very, very, very good for your business. There is a full article about this subject on our website, so please visit gracecertifiedaccountants.co.uk for more information.